Hello and welcome to this O&DR Modurol video, XKR Paramount Grand Prix 450. This is video 164 in our series of XK8 videos. In this video we're going to take a look at one of the more popular modifying companies, Paramount, and they're offering the Grand Prix 450. I'd like to make a special thanks at this point to Andreas, who has given us all this information about his car. And it's quite a special car, as you hopefully you'll agree as you watch this video. We split this video down into several sections as we do normally. First of all, the specification. Secondly, the engine modifications. Third, the drivetrain. Fourth, the exterior. Fifth, the interior. And then finally, a bit of a look at the cost new and the value now, or values now, at least in the UK. Andreas has supplied some videos for us to take a look at first before we get into the details. He did a bit of a walk around video in landscape here, so a portrait format, and it's a lovely silver XKR. I'll say it's the Grand Prix 450 Grosvenor edition. That's the luxury performance offering from Paramount Performance. In the early 2000s, and this car has got just about every modification you could throw a stick at. If you look inside, it's not just the exterior modifications, the engine modifications, it's all the interior. The whole thing has been changed from the standard Jaguar stuff to blue and grey leather and Alcantara. What a lovely spec of car. The startup is really nice. I don't know whether you can hear that. It's not coming across too well on the video, but it's a startup with a real rumble. I'll share some of these videos if Andreas will let me on the channel, just so you can get a bit of a feel for it with the proper sound. And he also sent us a video of overtaking. This gives you some idea of the performance of this car off the mark and makes overtaking a real breeze. So let's have a quick look at that. There you go. Put the boot down. Wow, you pass the car. That's it. So really makes driving on the road very safe, because you accelerate very fast and get past things. Okay, let's move on to moving on to specification. Just before we get into the particular spec, Paramount Performance offered two levels of specification, Sport and Deluxe. And within those two categories, there were four defined models. So within Sport, there was Grand Prix, which is the extreme performance-oriented vehicle. Then there was a Donington, which carried us a few sports enhancements, but basically it was more visual. Then there was in the deluxe end, which is where they really got into the interiors. So there was the Grosvenor, which was the Grand Prix, so all the sports things, but also a massive amount of interior modifications. And then there was the Burnham, which was a similar sort of thing to the Donington, but also interior as well. So you've got basically the Grand Prix 450 was the out-and-out sports car, sports version. Then you had the Donington, which was a light a lightly tuned car with all the visual exterior pack. Then you have the Grosvenor, which is the Grand Prix Plus, a big interior uplift. And then you have the Burnham, which is basically the interior uplift and some visual bits outside without any tuning. Hopefully that explains it. So this particular car is special because it is the Grand Prix Grosvenor. So it is actually all the sports things, sports enhancements, all the exterior modifications and all the interior modifications. I mean, the original owner must have ticked every option on the options list. It really is incredible. So it's a good example for us to go through and understand all the Paramount modifications that were available. The particular car we're looking at is chassis number A02949. It's actually a model year 2000 car, registered in March 2000. It has spent all of its life, practically all of its life, in Cyprus. It was registered there in August 2000. So basically between March and August was the modification time. So this car, I would have thought, has got absolutely no rust. It must be the best example of one of these early 2000 Paramount cars. It has extremely low mileage. It's circa 10,000 miles. So it's a really good car to look at. So let's have a look at the engine mods as prescribed by Paramount. So first of all, the engine power has increased from 370 bhp to 450 bhp. I believe there was an option for 500, but those are extremely rare as well. The complete exhaust system was revised, including new catalytic converters. It added increased supercharger speed, which I assume is smaller pulleys, etc. Improved supercharger cooling, revised air induction system and filtration. You can see the cone filter on there. Section 3, then the drivetrain. So basically, one of the real nice additions to these Paramounts was this F1's switch shift system, which converts your automatic gearbox, nothing mechanical, just electronically, into a sequential shifting. So you don't have to you can't just hold it in the gears. You can also flick the gears up and down. You do that by some buttons behind the steering wheel. The giveaway to know you've got it is you have these two additional lights or indicators on the main instrument cluster. The one on the left should show your gear number, and the one on the right is the shift light, or to assist you when shifting up. The actual sequential shift buttons are located behind the steering wheel, and it's a custom thing that Paramount did together with Race Logic, now famous sort of motorsport timing company. So there you go, the buttons on the back of the steering wheel there to shift up and down gears. As part of the handling, there was a switchable steering revision with a center console mounted switch. I believe this actually reduced the power resistance of the steering wheel to give you a bit more feel. The gear surround is chrome plated brass. You see they're nice and shiny. And it also has a chrome plated polished alloy gear knob with also blue leather and the 450 logo on. With all that performance, you need some stopping power. So what was a really good thing, they upgraded the brakes to AP Racing 6-pot front calipers. And a slight visual thing was they changed the gunmetal background of the Growler logo, so make it stand out a bit. Well, make it not stand out, if you would. So it's silver on silver. The rear calipers are actually 4-pot. These were also further improved. They didn't just change the calipers, they changed the hose as well to Goodrich Air Equip and used special brake fluid. I assume that's performance brake fluid. Moving on then now to the exterior. This is what most cars, most of the Paramount cars are noted for, these the exterior additions. The Grand Prix had the unique 5-spoke Grand Prix alloy wheels with mirror finish rim beads. I mean, these are very reminiscent of BBS alloys. I mean, bear in mind this is in year 2000 and the R Performance kit has just been launched at that time. I believe Paramount have been selling these kits, I think, of 1998, so it's very much the precursor to the R Performance kit, the BBS alloys, tuning the suspension, what have you. So Chaz Whittaker and the guys at Paramount were doing it all before then. The wheels then are 8.5 inch by 19 inch on the front. The rears are 10 inch wide, 19 inch diameter on the rear, with 255s wide tyres on the front and 285s on the rear. The front lower bumper fairing is in carbon fibre on the Grand Prix. I believe it's polyester on some of the cheaper versions. So it might look the same, but a lot of these cars, you get what you pay for. It depends on which version of the car you bought. You get 120mm badging on the nose of the car with the Paramount Performance on there. It has chrome mesh front grille with an optional horizontal strake with a logo in the middle. That logo bears the 450 number, which denotes the horsepower in this particular case. The front number plate itself is on a polyester plinth, which allows it to be lowered from the intake nose down to the lower portion of the bumper. It looks a lot, visually it looks a lot better that way. Now, another thing was these side sill sponsons. In this particular case, these are lightweight aluminium. They're not plastic or polyester. They're actually aluminium, which is really quality. And a lot of this stuff just oozes quality, to be honest. The rear fairing or the rear bumper is also in carbon fibre and features the rear chrome mesh grille, similar to the front. Again, similar to the front, it has a 120mm badge above the rear number plate. The suspension has been worked on considerably, even though it's in this particular case a cabriolet. The suspension has been lowered 30mm and it's been upgraded with Bilstein Cats dampers. It's had replacement special wishbones for camber adjustment. I take it that's because of the lowering and the wider wheels being used. Finally, as the last thing of the external sort of upgrade, if you would, they actually went to the trouble of replacing the convertible soft top roof cover from its original colour to blue mohair. I mean, this is the level of detail these guys are getting to. Moving on to the interior then, I'll say the particular special thing about this particular car is the level of modifications that has gone into the interior. A lot of the Paramounts you'll see on the internet, and I'll show you some examples later on in this video, is it's mainly exterior and some engine tuning, and the interior is left basically, or for the most case, untouched. But in this particular car, it's got everything on it, and let's see what Paramount were offering. So first of all, the whole interior was retrimmed in leather, Alcantara and carbon fibre. In this case, it's a deep blue leather. The front seats have been modified. The front seat cushion, bottom cushion, has been extended in length, so it supports your knee a bit better. The rear seats were retrimmed the same as the front, so you've got basically grey leather, blue leather, and blue Alcantara. They've even gone to the trouble. If you're a Jaguar XKR owner, you'll know most of the seat belts are sort of creamy colour. Obviously, it doesn't go well with blue. So Paramount actually took the seat belts mechanisms apart and rebuilt them with blue seat webbing. I think one of the other options was grey. This is the level of detail this car has. They actually retrimmed the speaker panels in leather and also added chrome ringed grills. That's the rear speaker, and the same went for the front speaker. I'll say the interior is incredible. Just talking about the carpets then. The carpets were removed from the car, completely cut away, reinforced, and actually Boyd Riven special Axminster Wilton carpet was used. So basically almost like a 2-ply carpet to give you improved insulation. So I think in the original car it had some special overmats as well, but they seem to have been lost by the looks of this, and we've got some rubber mats in there now. All the A-pillars, the top rails, sun visors were all retrimmed in leather as well. If I didn't mention before, the complete dashboard in this particular car was removed in order to cover the whole thing in blue leather. There isn't much exposed plastic left on this car, to be honest. It's quite sumptuous. Everything is leather bound. Even the hood cover, once the convertible top has been stowed, even that was retrimmed in a deep blue cloth, Bedford cloth, to suit the new colour scheme. Obviously, you've got the polished aluminium footrest and pedals. The steering wheel's been retrimmed together with its airbag in the blue leather and carbon fibre rim to match the dashboard with veneers. So it looks really, really nice, thick wheel, all carbon fibred. In the middle of that steering wheel is a very nicely sort of presented 60mm maroon white and chrome steering wheel badge that really emphasises the Paramount Performance pedigree. Looking at the dashboard, it's you have the highly polished aluminium ring set. Again, you can see all these things that were added as this 2000 car as extras by sort of an outside performance company, but the Jaguar added all these later. So Jaguar did a real catch-up and copycat later on in other cars, using Chas Whittaker's sort of ideas as a bit of a clue. The chrome in the centre there, you can see the air conditioning vents. They've got chrome plated brass trim around them. It's pretty unique to Paramount modified cars, these, and they even extend to the side vents. You can see the little chrome trim over the dial there. One thing I noticed was missing on this car. I mean, in this spec sheet it says the XKR 450 Grand Prix in chromium script should be imprinted on the airbag panel. It seems to be missing on this car, on this particular photo. I can't see it. It might be there, but anyway, everything else looks genuine, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. The centre console is the black plastic framework has been refinished in carbon fibre, together with the gear shift surround, as you can see there. It does have the Grosvenor badging on the gear shift surround to denote the luxury performance Grand Prix version. The door inners, much the same as the rest of the car, has been retrimmed in leather, and in this case the centre panel in Alcantara. You can see the switches are in carbon fibre. Also, the door handle surrounds they have like a nice little carbon fibre surround. Okay, sorry. Finally, the cost and value. So what did this cost the original owner when new, back in the year 2000? Well, the summary cost of the modification to basically a new donor car was £52,200. I repeat, sorry, £53,200. And that is without the new donor car. This was a brand new car modified to almost double its original cost. Well, actually, yeah, almost double its original cost. This is a £100,000 car when new. Actually incredible. But it is very, very special. If we have a look at a few Paramount cars that are for sale in the UK, obviously they're not in Cyprus, they're not the same condition, they don't have the full amount of modifications that car does. To give you some idea, we've got here a 2002 Paramount 400. It looks like this is one of the ones that's cosmetically upgraded. I'm not quite sure, could that be the Donington? I'm not sure, to be honest. But the seller here is looking for £17,000. It's been for sale for a while, by the looks of it. In the advert, it says £30,000 worth of Paramount Performance pack added. So really nice looking car, but that's the sort of price people are looking for in the UK. There is another one for sale. I think this one's just outside of Blackpool. Again, a 2002 Paramount with a 4.2 modified motor. The guy's there's looking for about 17,000, but he's keen to sell it. That is reduced to 12,995. But again, really nice looking car. The one thing I would say with these particular cars, there's very little, if any, interior modification. The leather work, etc., is as standard production car. So this is sort of half the Paramount car that the Grand Prix Grosvenor we've shown you is. So there you go. You look about £17,000-ish in the UK. So that's what I think is this Paramount Grand Prix Grosvenor 450 in Cyprus is probably the most unique and almost priceless version of a Paramount car. It's got every option ticked. It's got a very low mileage. I think this is on the second owner from new, which is Andreas, I think. And it's got no rust. I mean, it just got to be the perfect, almost like a time capsule. So I think Andreas is very, very lucky to own this car. I think he appreciates what he's got, and it's hopefully an investment for him and his family in the future. But very jealous, Andreas. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much, Andreas, for sharing the information about his car and about Paramount versions. And thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe for more XK8 videos.